Okay, so the other means of conditional execution that we have available to us is going to be the switch statement. The switch statement is going to allow us to allow selection based on the comparison of a value against several constants. Each case is going to be terminated by a break. And if we do not include a break in a particular case, what we'll observe to happen is fall through, where essentially both the case that we're in and any cases subsequent to it without a break statement are going to be executed. So looking at the code below, if the opcode doesn't match any of the case labels, the default label is going to be ran. So just looking at this, dependent and assume opcode is an integer. If that int stored within opcode is 0, this statement here would be executed, and then we break out. However, if opcode was 1, case 1 and case 2 would be executed because case 1 does not have a break. So we'd fall through to case 2, and we'd continue falling through these cases until we arrived at a break condition. Just keep this in mind. Each case is going to be terminated with a break. That'll be the final statement within it. If it doesn't, you'll observe fall through, which you may want in some scenarios or not. If you are interested in having fall through happen for some reason, make sure that you do provide some sort of comment that describes that it is happening and why it is happening. In my case, for case 1, I simply said fall through. Obviously, you'd want to communicate a bit better, the rationale for that, and indeed that it was happening than what I did. Let's say that the default condition isn't needed. We should still probably specify one. But if the case that we expect to never arrive at it, you can go ahead and provide some sort of error message to communicate that that case was inadvertently reached. And we'll get into what this is doing here shortly once we talk about our debugging, testing, and the things that go along with those subjects. So technicalities of the switch statement. We have to switch on a value of either integer, character, or enumeration type. We haven't talked about the enumerations types yet, but you can think about it as some sort of name that's going to value to some sort of integer value. Case labels must be known at compile time. We cannot use a variable in a case label. So you can't write something like case X. That's not allowed. We need it to either be an integer, a character, or some sort of enumeration type. And let's just ignore that for a second. Case label values must be unique. You're not going to be able to use the same case value more than once. So you can't have case 0 and then case 0 again. You've already used that label. It can only be used once. You can use several case labels for a single case with fall through as illustrated before, but do make sure you document that fall through is indeed your intention for those scenarios. Otherwise, if you're not intending for fall through to happen, do make sure to end each case with break. So going back to kind of the style with all of this, we're going to follow the Google C++ style guide in this course. So just quoting a couple of things on that you might need to know about switch statements here. Again, and I've been reinforcing this, annotate non-trivial fall throughs between case labels. Case blocks and switch statements may have curly braces or not, depending on your preference. I've used them. I would encourage you to do so. It just enhances readability. If not on an enumeration value, switch statement should always have a default case. And if the default case should never execute, go ahead and treat its execution as an error, as I mentioned before. And again, when we get into our testing and debugging section lessons for this course, we'll have a better approach as to how to go about that.